Hmm? What's that? World upside down? Jimmy Cliff?
Session power 106. Sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Knowledge is power. Classes in session power 106.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. Now I know that time is come. Goes on up, it's coming on down. Goes around and comes around. So much trouble in the world. 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 The Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, OM. That's the theme song for this afternoon's edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And before that, we recited A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. We're still in the International Decade of Healthy Aging, and for that we give thanks. It's the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 23rd day of the second month of 2024. Heart Month and Reggae Month celebrations continue here in Jamaica and across the diaspora. It's Army Day in Tajikistan, a National Day in Brunei Darussalam, Republic Day in Guyana, and a Defender of the Fatherland Day in Russia. Hoy es viernes el 23 de febrero 2024 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
The time is now
2:16 on Power 106.
So, what is the bond crush?
Well, that's where GIC comes in. Look at it so. With the GIC deposit insurance scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at GIC.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information. Does climate change affect the productivity and profitability of goat rearing? What is the impact of the Eat What You Grow campaign on Jamaica's restaurant industry? Or do you think natural hazards affect livestock farming? These are some of the compelling topics that will be explored at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education Case Research Day, Thursday, February 29 at the TP Lucky Hall West Campus. Presenters will explore topics related to climate change and how future generations can be empowered for resilience and sustainability. Join them live on YouTube and Facebook for presentations throughout the day. It's the Case Research Day, February 29, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education in picturesque Portland.
C'est vendredi le 23 février 2024 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life, and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Good afternoon to the children of Jamaica, especially those involved in Jamaica Day celebrations on a day like this, a time to celebrate our heritage, our history. And in that same breath, we convey greetings to members of the Baptist Church. Today marks, well, it happened on the 23rd of February 1814. On this day in 1814, Baptist Mission was founded. The Baptist Church was brought to Jamaica by Black American ex-slaves. The first and most illustrious was the Reverend George Lyle, who brought his family to Jamaica in 1783 and shortly after began his ministry. He built the first Baptist chapel in Jamaica. Moses Baker was another key Baptist. In fact, it was he who contacted the Baptist Missionary Society of Great Britain requesting help with his work. As a result, the first British Baptist missionary came from England on this day in 1814. More as the program progresses. In the meantime, let's remind you how to reach us, 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. What's on your mind this afternoon? Feel free to share your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your issues, your recommendations, whatever is on your mind. Please feel free to share. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Franklin MacDonald has been searching and researching, and he has shared with us some documents here with respect to racism in the work of Charles Dickens and local government reform in Jamaica, a new paradigm. And let's take a look at the information that Franklin MacDonald has shared with us. Taking a while to download as usual, but it should be coming up or coming down any moment now. Any moment now. Standing by for the information. Here we go. Here we go. Downloading. Almost there. Almost there. Just a little way to go. Right. So this is from IGI Global, publishing tomorrow's research today. And the publication is Subnational Governance and Development. And the headline, Local Government Reform in Jamaica, a new paradigm for participatory local governance. Local government reform in Jamaica, a new paradigm for participatory local governance. And the source, well, Keith L. Miller has his name affixed. The source title, Handbook of Research and Subnational Governance and Development. And it seems one would have to pay about, what's this, 37 US dollars and 50 cents to access this document. Having said that, there's an extract, I beg your pardon, an abstract that has been extracted and has been shared. Local government as a formal institution has existed in Jamaica since 1667. It has traditionally been perceived as the lower of a two-tier system of government, in which it has essentially operated as an instrument of central government. The second of two major reforms to the local government system was initiated in 1990 and officially launched in 1995. The current reform program constitutes a new paradigm of subnational governance and development, in which local government is no longer primarily a creature of central government, but rather a vehicle for the management of local affairs, including the pursuit of local developmental priorities, with strong participation by local citizens and stakeholders. Such a paradigm is claimed to be critical to addressing governance and developmental challenges that currently confront Jamaica. This study examines the validity of this claim and whether this new paradigm is likely to enhance subnational governance and development. And there's another section looking at socioeconomic and political perspectives. And that will take some time to digest. Thank you very much, Franklin McDonald. And listeners, if you need more, you might want to make a note of the title, Local Government Reform in Jamaica, a New Paradigm for Participatory Local Governance. Local Government Reform in Jamaica, a New Paradigm for Participatory Local Governance. All right, so let's check in with some of the other messages right now. Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Let's see what we have here now. Good afternoon, my brother Malcolm, and your valuable callers and listeners. Lovely program as usual, brother Malcolm. I want to send a special love and respect to one of your callers, Mr. Neville Carter. I love to hear when he calls the program. Always has some valuable information. Arijam Baba, Patrick from New York City. Good to hear from you, Patrick. How are things? Always good to hear from you. Hope you're not too cold, you and the other members of the Jamaican diaspora family. Hope you're staying warm. And let's see. Let's go up the line a bit. We're just trying to do the usual, which is to separate those messages that are current from those no longer relevant or otherwise uh, stale. Let's see. Bishop Douglas Gooden, always sharing scripture. Welcome, Bishop. Michael Evans, good afternoon to you. Good happy Friday to this person as well. Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada, in touch with us as usual. So too is Barry. And this one says, good morning. Well, it's afternoon now, so perhaps it was meant for one of the earlier programs. Good morning. Please tell Mr. Newman that a lot of taxi operators charging $180 on the halfway tree to Papine route, contrary to what he is saying, that they are collecting the $150. Mr. Vaz needs to do some undercover work and have them arrested. Mr. Edgerton or Edgerton Newman. Well, if you have the evidence, take the matter to court and let's see how it goes. Sharon Smith is in touch with us from the Jose Marti Alumni Association New York chapter. She says, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Join Jay Manny on Sunday, February 25th for our general meeting on Zoom. And there is a video of Jose Marti Technical High School celebrating Jamaica Day. And the question is asked, are you hungry? Catering by Cubans Catering Limited. Well done to the students of Jose Marti Technical High School. Let's say happy Jamaica Day as well to Joan in Bermuda. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Richardson, Mr. Richardson. Good afternoon to you, Roxy. Good afternoon to Amira and all the other Jamaicans and Bermudians listening to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, asks, what could happen to those ballot papers yesterday? Is this, oh, we need a break? Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:32 on Power 106.
registered voters. Do you know where to vote on election day? To find out, you may call our toll-free number at 888-991-VOTE. That's 888-991-8683. Or visit our website at ecj.com.jm. Select Query Voters List and enter the required information. Free and fair elections. It's up to you. That was an important announcement from the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Beneficiaries. The PASS payment cycle begins on February 19, 2024. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to March 4, 2024. Check the weekend star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect between March 5 and March 6, 2024. For more information, call PASS at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The Bible speaks. 30 minutes of vitalizing motivation grounded in the Word of God. The Bible speaks, showcasing soothing spiritual music from across the world. It's The Bible Speaks with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas every Sunday from 6:30 to 7 a.m. here on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Your son is on the right one again. Wait up, listen, go ahead.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Further to that information, uh, within the last couple of days, on the subject of ballots and related matters. This person, Horace, otherwise known as Spider, speculates, asking what could happen to those ballot papers yesterday. Is it, and then taking us down another road now to ask, is this the reason why we group the EOJ and I think you mean ombudsman here? You have Ambrose, it sounds like cricket. Ombudsman together so more people can get in the system to do whatever, maybe because they have a high turnout there. Why we found out, remember, we are dealing with humans. Is it possible for that those ballots were hidden for use at a later date? We continue to and to invest. We continue to invest confidence in people who have been tried, tested, and proven, and a system that has been tried, tested, and proven. And until or unless something absolutely devastating occurs, we stand with these men and women of integrity who continue to play their part in service to Jamaica. Thank you for the message, and nothing wrong with asking questions and scrutinizing happenings, Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Thank you for your message. Hermin, Miss June in Oslo, Norway. Good to see you online. Thank you for joining us and all the very best. Let's go to the phone lines in the meantime. 876 922 4112 to 5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan Malcolm. How you doing, my brother?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good so far. I'm here taking it easy. I just decided that I'm going to hail you guys up today. How is your day going so far, my teacher?
Maybe not as well as yours, because I gather you are now uh, uh, a very a very busy radio talk show person. That you're moving from station to station and changing from one person to another. So
So,
you seem to have your hands full.
yeah, sometimes I just feel like I want to talk to different people. Understand?
Oh yes,
Because I'm different. Sometimes I talk to your good friend, Mr. Taylor, and sometimes Clive, and me and them always talk very well, you know?
that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Condolences to you guys at Radio Jamaica of the passing of Mr. Alan Magna.
Yes. Thanks for your.
I growing up listening to those people on radio when I was a little boy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Take care. Teacher, let us say something to you. You see, teacher, when I listen to programs like this, let me tell you what I don't like about some callers. Some callers are always campaigning.
As long as they're not breaking the law, they're welcome.
But me, teacher, I'm not into the campaign thing. I'm a good guy. I don't give any trouble. I am different. No?
We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's great. It's good to talk with you guys. I will talk to you guys next time, another time.
All the best to you. Take care. Bye bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Another good selection from Bob Marley collection.
Indeed, inadvertently, but it's all right. It still made sense. We had something else in mind, but it's all right.
Oh, well, it really on point with what is going on all around now,
Mm.
with all the wars and strife that is happening around the globe. Why, when you listen to Bob Marley's lyrics, it's like he was ahead of his time, but he was for the current time, and his music is so relevant.
Yes, that is true. And it just goes to show when we do quality work, it how lasting it can be for generations to come.
Right.
Mhm.
And like some of what we have passed, it's a legacy. It's not really music, but music is music, but it's the lyrics that is really
Yeah,
um, messy.
yeah. And for those who are messing around, well, time will always tell, one way or another.
I don't know, because it's sometimes you wonder if when you listen to the lyrics, and then when you think about chanting, write something else, sing about something else, then you have someone there that is going to say, well, they are living their reality, and therefore they cannot express themselves in another way because that's all it is. So I wonder what kind of existence that for a human being that the only thing we can think about is how to blow down another man's brain and all negative things. And when you speak of the opposite sex, you refer to them as if you are at war. You describe them body in all kind of, how disgusting and disrespectful way. What
Yeah.
happened? What happened? I mean, when we used to write poems to our girlfriend and nice love letter, but I suppose if you do that now, some of these girls they would laugh at you because they don't they don't know any better. Because I suppose it all come comes down to their upbringing and the kind of environment and the kind of nurture that they really themselves have. Saying all of this, there
Hmm.
was an article I think in one of the papers this week, and somebody the author was asking whether or not this thing about two is better than too many is still relevant today in Jamaica and for that
Uh,
matter in other countries because population, world population in some cases declining. But then when you listen to the prediction, the global population is increasing
hmm. It's about 8 billion now, I think.
close to it.
Um, mm,
Right? So it is still relevant to limit famicide, especially in countries where, for example, look at Jamaica. My father, I am 71 years old, and when we were like children, my father used to at the time work on one of these bus that carried people from my district into Kingston, and he usually talk about how these young men leaving the country, coming into Kingston, and during the market, pushing and charging. He used to think that that was not um, a viable vocation for young men. Now, that is more than maybe 50 years ago. Right? More than 50 years ago. But today, when we go into our market across, it's like the number of our young men who are engaged in that sort of vocation has increased. And then we look at the amount of our young men who are at bus park loading buses. And when you look and see them, and when you look and see the amount of our mostly young men, and now we have a situation where a lot of our young girls are on the street selling their body. It makes you wonder, can we, how can we be encouraging to have more children when this is what our children have to come into. No child ever asks the parents to bring them into this world. And no child should be brought into this world and have to face some of the condition and suffering and wickedness that is being done to them. Children should be brought into this world with the best possible opportunity, especially I'm speaking of from our standpoint of being from blacks, where we are coming from the plantation. We should be looking at our children. The only way they should be going is up, not perpetuating the kind of system that and some of the legacy that we have had over the century.
One moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:45. With over 40 years of record service, Lock Safe and Bolt Limited is your trusted security provider. Get affordable prices on a wide variety of seals, garage doors, access control supplies, magnetic lock, fingerprint, weatherproof keypads, card access system, time attendance, power supplies, and exit buttons. Professional services provided. Visit 40 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Problem solved with Lock Safe and Bolt.
I've been hearing about this constitutional reform thing. You know anything about it?
Yes, constitutional reform is a chance for us to Jamaicanize the constitution. But how? Enough things changed since 1962, and we've matured as a nation. So modernizing the constitution will reflect our current societal values.
Oh, a constitution for Jamaicans, approved by Jamaicans.
Are you ready for the journey? Join us on the road to Republic. Think independence, think Republic. A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pastor, with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Call in or text in and have great discussions with Dear Pastor as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
I think some of these people should be charged for what they call now, what they call the cruelty, right? The children, because if you're not prepared to be a parent, to take full responsibility for that child or children that you're bringing in, you shouldn't get none.
Well, I think it was.
Going around and when my accident, there can be no, the only way we can have children accident is you make sure you take all the necessary precaution and for whatever reason it happens. But you can't tell me that you're going around talking about them alone, condom and man must have youth and some women doing the same way and that. They're not taking off from up, and then when the children come, why is that mistake? And then we are not prepared. So before we start talking about abandoning that policy, we need to fix the way in which we put children in this country. I've been saying that for damn years, the school and because me must be so vulgar because me tell people that it's what they're doing is having too much care it's bringing in this country where people are not planning children. They're not having careless sex, I should say, and produce children as a result. And these children suffer, you see them all over the place. Suffering, not able to go to this kind of. And I wonder, where is our social worker in this country? Because all the years when something happens, you hear they go and them have press conference and then they do money, but they're not going into the community, going into these schools, also looking at whether these children are going to school. Why are they not attending school? Some kind of abuse that is taking place. children in this country. Sexual abuse. And who is looking out for them? Right? And then when you see, no wonder we have so many.
Well, there's an established office of the children's advocate.
An established office of children advocate. What kind of advocate are these people advocating on behalf of these suffering children in Jamaica?
Well, they have all kinds of issues to contend with, and that's why the uh, the office of the children's the what's it? I want to get the appropriate title. The children's advocate, right? The children's advocate is supposed to be the voice of the children, literally and figuratively, the voice of the children, whatever the issues the children are having, whether the state actions of the state are taking a toll on or negatively impacting the children. The children's advocate and the office of the children's advocate combined are supposed to play a significant role in all of that.
Leadership is very important in every society. I never see the bullshit. Have you never heard a politician saying to their constituents, we need to be more responsible parents? So that, for example, I like to a young man who gets killed in a motorcade. Do you hear anything about the father? The mother said, oh, she tell him not to go, right? But he's not listening to the mother. You see, I just heard recently that, well, that's a known struggle. Some of us want to deny that Jamaica have one of the highest female-led households around. And a lot of these female like to work, and so they don't have enough time to stay. So the children are literally left on the road because it's not like that. The mother is out, and the different father and working to provide the necessary care or guidance in going about in business. Because we have the practice that we have in this country, this be the mother, be the father culture. I mean, not saying everybody going to get married, but there was a time when people were more settled into a relationship. What to find out, for example, I have a granddaughter who I am mentoring from, she graduated from high school a couple years ago. And immediately after graduation, one of our schoolmates, who's, the graduate at 18, went off to live with a man. I suppose with the idea that the mother could stop her or it was okay for the mother because some people find your girl child will change. I mean, the younger brother. While I think from a girl finishing high school, she should be heading straight into higher education to qualify herself to be more master level and be independent, not to be desperate. But for whatever reason, she ended up dying with this boy. Right? It has to be a boy. Whom she get pregnant? I don't think she was with this boy at this house for more than 6 months because after a while, she was sent home to her mother and the excuse by the boy that the baby make too much noise and yet. Baby make noise and so she must go with the mother, with the child. No. If we, as men in this country, had to really take full responsibility when we get a child, not just provide them with money, but provide them with the kind of care. If the mother is out working, you have to spend time provide the attention that child needs. So when the baby is making noise, now you're supposed to get them out of your bed and go change their fingers, whatever that child needs. But everything is left 99% of the time on the women. Because if we know that we have to take responsibility, we wouldn't just go out and get picnic and you just jump in from one woman to the next. And we will kick that out of the place like mongrel dog and just kick it. Because the male dog never look after young people, them, you know. It's always the female. And that is a major problem that's creating a lot of the social problem in this country. Too many children are left with their mothers alone.
How do we fix it?
We don't want to face it.
We've been having this debate and discussion even while the days of Tony Leng and before that and after that, and the same discussions, but and the same concerns, the same issues, but we're still at square one. How do we overcome this?
You know, I talk to a lot of people, that are young people, and a lot of young girls, and a lot of them so that, boy, if they had somebody to talk to them and show them the thing that I show them, then a lot of them would end up in the situation that they end up in. Because, for example, that young girl we're talking about, she knows when my granddaughter meets up on some of her peers, they're around in the 20s, the early 20s, the first thing they're asking her, wait, wait for, because she don't have a baby.
Mm-hmm. That's quite common in Jamaica.
But because she was and proper guidance, and she wise enough to follow, you know, the guidance that she got. She's pursuing, I mean, higher education and thinking of putting herself in a far better position than what on baby mother. Right? Too many of our young girls take that as a way out. And we have enough parenting to guide our young girls to keep away because the boy they're now, as I said, they are not taking responsibility for the children. It is the mother who will end up with the grandparents. Because, for example, now this grandmother, this mother, have to take back her daughter with a child who she never seen her was getting on. Yeah? And that boy about doing business, so no doubt probably have another baby with another girl. So who is going to build the child? When are we going to? We need to teach our young men to be more responsible. If we are
I
more
think,
responsible,
but we
we'll have a more responsible and we'll have a
but
more
but we don't want to do it in a lopsided way because both sides, both parties are especially when they are mature enough, understand the implications of of their certain behaviors. No, because you actually don't get to the, let me put it this way, the wise part of being an adult. You usually don't get there so early. In the teenagers, I have a National Geographic published a magazine. I sorry I didn't have it today, on teenagers and why teenagers behave the way they do, and not just those in the literal teens, but those in their early 20s. I think they say it's maybe closer to 30 when you're 30 before you actually start to wise up.
well, so that's the part of the brain that deal with the caution or why these people of around 27 year about.
Right, right.
But then that is why we have parents,
Mhm.
right? That is why we have parents, and parents experience certain things and know what pitfall out here. And that is why it is the responsibility of parents to guide their children. And we should try to avoid them falling the same trap, especially when I say poor people, people in certain positions cannot do what those in you know, higher or who have a higher income level can do. For example, I was saying, when you're attending school, poor people children have to do well because the parents don't have the money to move you from one school to the other when you're messed up. The rich man can afford to do that. When you reach university level, if, if you don't have high pass mark, you won't even be getting because your parents want the money to speak over to get them in. The rich man can afford to do that. This is what happened in America some time ago when some parents was trying to get their children into Ivy League university.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And that.
And then look, they find some of them gone out and go out of jail
Mhm.
because they have the money and the children didn't pass.
Yes.
So they pay. And that is what happened.
We're going to have to continue the discussion as we have been for years now. Portmore, for years we've been having this discussion. I'm going to have to put a pause on it to allow some more listeners to. Mhm. It is. All right. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 3 o'clock. As a fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me. And I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Fire, brother, hyper treats and we're not brother, yes, it's the part to fortune promotion. I go, watch your pocket, watch it grow in hydro. Have to function, that's the way to go. With millions and credit for the phone. When you buy your feed from hydro, when you buy your feed from hydro, is giving away millions in the part to fortune promotion. Buy any qualifying hyper feed and text the entry code in the bag for your chance to win. Enter today. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Act. Yes, sir. It's on the right.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello to Norman Hines, who is tuned in. Velta Wilson, good afternoon to you. Wonderful weekend to you too. Wesley Cunningham, JP, says, greetings, Brother Dervan. It's with great regret to inform you of the passing of the son of the late Edith Henry, formerly of Content Gardens in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. Sorry to hear that. Thanks for sharing the information, the situation notwithstanding, and please convey our condolences and regards to the family. Thank you very much, Wesley Cunningham. Also on right now, Velma Wright, she says, good day, greetings to my Aunt Tibbs, who is listening. Hello, Aunt Tibbs. Thank you very much for listening. Inez Ayona Campbell says, pleasant Friday afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much, Inez Ayona Campbell, who is somewhere in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Dr. Trevor Dixon, emergency medicine physician at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx in New York. He's on the job. He says, greetings from Bronx, New York. We are still working on receiving a waiver for our public ambulance. Oh, I didn't realize we were still there, Dr. Dixon. Uh-oh. We received a verbal agreement that we should receive a waiver, but that was over 1 month ago. Our ambulance to serve the public has been sitting in Jamaica since August 2023. It seems initiatives such as the GEMS project would take a burden off the government when it comes to providing emergency medical services for its citizens. Thank you very much for the update, the circumstances notwithstanding, Dr. Dixon, but it is most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Well, I don't think the members of the Jaja Foundation are going to allow this situation to stop them from playing their part in the development of Jamaica, especially in the field of health. Mikey Morris says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon, Mikey Morris. Oliver Masters says, I am here patiently waiting to hear the junglist Neville Carter to call in, and then you read the posting of Patrick of New York giving kind regards to the man from Jungle Kingston 12. Mikey Morris says, good afternoon to you and your listening radio audience. Power 106 FM radio blessings, sir. To you too. And thanks for watching. Mikey Morris. Devon Johnson says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm. Can you please wish my sister Verna Johnson happy belated birthday, and may God continue to bless you. Wesley Cunningham says, will do. He was hit off his bike in Ocho Rios in December. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Terribly sorry to hear that. Literally and figuratively, it's not an easy road, especially moving from point A to point B in the current environment. Oh dear. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number. So you can keep sending us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can even call us via WhatsApp, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. James in East London has sent us a collection of stories of happenings in the UK. And somebody taking on Portmore, a caller who goes by the moniker Portmore, accusing him of being less than generous with the truth, talking about love makeup story. If that was so, the parents wouldn't let it known that it's because of baby crying. All right, so that is that. This one says, good day. Where did the message go? Oh, this is it. Good day, Dervan. The only things that go fast in Jamaica are the cars. Dr. Dixon, we are waiting patiently for your gift to Jamaica. Thank you for your message. Let's take a look at some of the WhatsApp messages, the other WhatsApp messages, and also the text messages. And hopefully, well, they're not, well, I was about to say, hopefully they're not just about Digicel, but at least one of them is. This one says, hold on. Or they would have put the bigger portion towards KSAMC. That's the message. And we have another one from Neville, otherwise known as Salah. He says, greetings to you, Dervan. Why put more blaming the guy for what happened? This young woman is to be blamed also. Well, we did put that in, we did include that in our response, listener. So, yeah, why blaming the guy for what happened? This young woman is to be blamed also. She is a high school graduate and she should be wiser. Put more, he is to understand that she wasn't being raped. Salah. Thank you very much for your message. Keep those messages coming in. 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And the regular numbers to call 876 922 4112-5. 876 922 4112-5. Earlier on, we started telling you about the story of the Baptist mission being founded